Hello. Hello, YouTube. I hope you're doing fine. Hello, Lilian Yasani. I can see you there. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to join. I'm going to give it a few minutes. 2 people are watching me. Today, we are doing the official application for DV 2023. So please call your friends. I'm going to give it 4 minutes before I start. Today, we are getting ready so that tomorrow we can do the application. So, I need you guys to come on. I need you guys to come on so that we can go through this stuff. 5 people. You say hi. I'm going to acknowledge you here in a little bit. 5 people watching. Give me a minute. I turn off that TV because that TV is bringing sound over here. Just give me a minute. I'm back. I went to turn off the TV because I couldn't hear very well. Sorry about that. I am back. So, I'm gonna give it how many minutes? 3 minutes because I went for 1 minute to turn off my TV. Today we are going to talk about the official application of DV 2023. I am going to walk you through that form. So that, oh, I'm out of breath. I had to go upstairs. So that you get it. I say that I want you to get it. And I know that you will get it. But unless you're here and you listen, you might have difficulty. I do not want you to have difficulty. I want you to fill out the form correctly. That's why I'm here, so that I can help you, walk you through how to fill out that form tomorrow. I don't know what time it is in Kenya right now. It's 10:12 a.m. here. It's 10:12 a.m. here. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, and then I am going to start with the form. I have already pulled it up so that you guys can see, because I need you to understand the application tomorrow when you're going to do your DV. And I hope that right now you have your passport and you have everything. So I'm going to give it just 1 more minute. 1 minute, and we'll talk about the form. We have to be prepared. Like I said that I was going to be here with you, walk you how to do it so that you can do it right, so that you can do it for yourself, so that nobody is going to tell you that they can fill it for you and then they end up hiding your confirmation number. So in 20 seconds, I'm going to start this broadcast, and I am going to start by acknowledging people. Let me call some people here. Okay. All right. Let's see who is here. Lillian Nyasani, hi. Thank you for joining. Ruth Blessings, hello, ma'am. Thank you for joining me. Haron Kamau, hello, Charity. Thank you for joining. Esther Achieno, hello, Charity. Watching you from Saudi Arabia. Thank you. It's Glimp. Hi, ma'am. Thank you for watching. Lucy Wanjiro, hello, Charity. Thank you for joining me. Time now is 6:14 p.m. Thank you for that. Victor Mutungi, Charity, you inspire me a lot. Thank you for that. So Frida Namutembi. Charity dear, can I apply and still? I'm gonna read that question. Eric Kagwe, we love you, Charity. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna start with the application of this form. Like I said, guys, I normally come live at 10 a.m. here in US, although today I was a little bit late, 10 minutes late. So at your time, especially in Africa, it's normally at 6 p.m. So that's where you'll find me. But even if you don't find me live, you're welcome to go and watch the video, because today I am going to talk about the application, how to go about it, so that you can do it correctly, so that you do not have any whatever. Wilson Kenge is watching you live in Abu Dhabi. Thank you. Farida Namutambi, if I took my, there's no problem with taking your photo with the hair tinted, because as long as you don't cover your face. I talked about that one. Now, yesterday, I know I wasn't able to acknowledge everybody because at one point my internet hanged. So I wasn't able to scroll on. But everybody who was watching yesterday, you are welcome again. So, my name is Charity Nganga, and Charity's Bubble USA is my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. And today, I am going to talk about official application of DV 2023. It starts tomorrow. It's going to start tomorrow. So here is going to be 12 a.m. at midnight. So 12 a.m. at midnight here in the US, I need you to go and Google on your phone and see what time is going to be in Kenya. Now, before we start filling out the form, they encourage you to do the form by yourself, and that is why I am here to walk you through, so that some question, you know what to enter there. Another thing is that it doesn't matter the time that you apply, as long as it's within their time frame, but do not wait until the last minute. Please don't wait until the last minute. Remember, you must have your current passport, and you must have those little photos that meet the requirements, and those little photos, every family member must have them. The passport is different because it is only the primary applicant, but the little photos, everybody must have them. So you be keen on that, because some people are still asking me about photos. So those photos have to be there. So I am going to go ahead and pull out this form for you guys, so that we can go through it and see what we are supposed to enter tomorrow. So let me see if there are some more people who have coming. Janet Mora watching from Kenya. Thank you for joining. Victor Mutungi, please, ma'am, tell everybody new generation passport ndio tunatumia saa. Yes, the new generation passport. I talked about that, and let me talk about that for a few minutes. Now, I know before there was in East Africa, there was the East African passport. But then, after that stage, they changed the rules and they decided that every country should have their own. Now, you might have that old passport for the East African, whatever that East African passport. Now, and it can still be current, but do not use that. And I gave you an example. I said it's like the best example I can give you is about currency, like money. You find that when Kenya, they changed their money, I could see people were saying that I had kept 50,000 shillings. Who can help me to convert or how to do with this money? Because they did not convert their money at the time that that they were given, before that money like went extinct. Now it was still money. Even if right now you have the old 1,000 Kenya shillings for Kenya, it is still money, but it's not valid. So you might have the old passport, and it's current, but because your country Your government is not using that kind of passport. That one is not going to be applicable. What I can advise you right now at this point, because I know it takes more than 16 weeks for the passport to come out, go get a temporary passport. That one is not gonna take a long time. Get a temporary passport, do the application, and then as soon as you're done with the application, then you can do like your other international passport, because a passport is a passport. A temporary passport is just a piece of paper that you can travel with, and you can use that one. So that is the thing that I can tell you. So please do not use that old one. That one is not going to be valid. So Labi Majoke, thank you for joining. Imelda Atieno, thank you for joining me. So I'm going to go here and pull out this form. Like I said, it's travel.state.gov. I don't know if you guys are seeing my face, but don't worry about my face today. I just want you to get this stuff. So I'm going to pull out the form here, and I am going to go through it. Now, from the beginning to the end, travel.state.gov. So, program, instructions for the DV 2023 Diversity Immigrant Visa Program, DV 2023. This is what we are talking about, what we are going to go do tomorrow. So, I read for you the countries that qualify, so I'm not going to worry about that. But let me tell you about the entry period. It is going to be between 12 p.m. noon, Eastern Daylight Time. That should be noon. I apologize. I had said the same. 12 p.m. noon. So tomorrow at noon here in the U.S. is when it is going to start on October 6, 2021. Okay? And it is going to end on Tuesday, November 9, 2021. Do not wait until this day to fill out your application, because you will be late. And they have told you here, do not wait until the last week of registration period to enter, as heavy demand may result to website delays. Because you know the human psychology. People like doing things the last minute. Now that website becomes jammed, because remember, all these countries that are listed, there are many countries over here. So can you imagine if everybody is trying to do their entry at the last minute because they do not want to be left out? Please kindly make sure that you are doing your application in the first weeks when it starts. Okay, so if you do a late entry or a paper entry, it is not going to be accepted. If you decide to go and print out that stuff and you do it a paper, it is not going to be accepted. That is why it is called the EDV, Electronic Diversity Visa. You have to do it online. Okay. All right. The law allows only one entry per person. You have to be keen on this. It is only one entry. It is not like when you're doing a competition for money, the more you enter, the more you win. No, I need you to do one entry. The only time that you can do two entries is whereby you are spouses. The husband can do his separate entry, include the wife and the kids, and the wife can do a separate entry and include the husband and the kids. And like I said, that is what we did. That is what we did. So you are welcome to do that. Now, what will happen? You submit one or more. If you submit more than one entry, this will render you ineligible for a DV. If you submit many entries, you will not get it. So do not do it. Now, the website that we will go to, I'm going to talk about the website tomorrow. It's called dvprogram.state.gov. I am going to come here and show you the website. I'll try to come early tomorrow. Now, let's go to here. Now, this is what we are going to find. Now, when the application opens, you will see the form. You will see the form. I don't know. Let me type here and see a sample DV lottery application form. I hope that I can find one online here. Just a sample. Yeah, here. Let me see if I can add this one to my stream. I don't know if I am confusing myself here, but I hope that I am. There can be able. No, it's not going to be able to share. So I'm going to share with you tomorrow the example, but these are the questions that you will find there. Now, the first thing that you will do, first of all, when you open the website, it is going to tell you to submit an entry. It is going to tell you to submit an entry, and then before you go to your name, it is going to have some words that are written there, and those words you're supposed to type them in a box. When you type them in a box, it is the questions are gonna open for you. Now, the first thing that you will need to right there is your name. Your name, you have to have your last family name, first name and middle name. Now, I am going to make it this very simple for you. You have your passport, because the primary applicant must have a passport. Now, the way your names are written in the passport, they are written last family name, first name and middle name. That is how your passport is written. So look at how your passport is written and enter those names the way they are. That is gonna be very easy for you, and you don't have to worry which one is the whatever. So use your passport. I need you to use what is written in your passport, because the passport is normally written the last name, the first name and the middle name. Now, those who are in Kenya, if you remember when we were in primary school or when we were in high school, when we used to do the test, the KCP and the KCSE, remember the way we used to write our names? We used to write our names, the last name, like mine, I would write Karaoke, Charity, Nyokabi. So Karaoke is my family name, my first name is Charity, and Nyokabi is my last name. Now, that is how it is. But instead of thinking of all that and getting confused at that time, I need you to write the way it is on your passport. And here it says exactly as it appears on your passport. Now, I am going to go on here. If your passport shows only your first and last family name, if it has two names, do not add any more names. It doesn't matter how many more names people call you, don't add. I need you to follow what is on your passport. That is what you should write on that. You should enter on that electronic form. That is what I need you to do. Now, they also tell you, please list your last family name and then the first name. Do not include a middle name unless it is included in your passport. So here we are not going to add any more names. So let us follow what is on the passport. That is what we are going to enter. And this is information from the primary applicant, because the primary applicant is the one, the information is the one that they start to enter. So I hope you are clear on the name. Now, the second thing that we are going to talk about is the gender. Are you a male or a female? You're going to tell us if you're a male or a female, then you will tick there whether you're a male or a female. 19 people are watching me. Thank you. This is Charity's Bubble USA, your #1 channel. I am talking about, let me pin this one, official application for DV 2023. That is what I am talking about, and I have just talked about the first entry. The first entry is your name, and I need you to put your name the way it is on the passport. Okay, now let me go on. So your gender, are you a male or a female? You will write there. The birth date. Now, you see day, month, and year. I know in Kenya, sometimes it's a little bit different, but put the way they say. Maybe you are born in 10th October 1985. 10th October 1985. So the day is 10th, the month is October, the year is 1985. So follow their guideline, day, month, year. Because I told you birth of date is everything here in the US. Your date of birth is like everything. Everywhere you go, your main identifier is your date of birth. So you put the day first, the day that you are born, and then the month that you are born, and then the year that you are born. Okay, now I hope you are together on that. Number 3, the city where you were born. Now I need you to look at your passport. Look at your passport and see what is written there. Now the city, for example, if you are born around, let's assume you are born in Mathare. Now in your passport, it is not written Mathare, it is written Nairobi. I need you to write Nairobi. I need you to write Kiambu. I need you to write Busia. I need you to write Kisumu. That is the city. So it is not the little village where you are born. And look at your passport, the city that is there. That is what I need you to enter. They require you to enter on your form. So I hope we are clear on the city that we were born. Now, country where you were born. Now, if you are born in Kenya, put your name there. If you are born in Uganda, put the name there. Sorry, excuse me. If you are born in Uganda, that is the country where you are born. Use the name of the country currently used for the place that you are born. Okay? So, the country where you are born, it doesn't mean where you live right now. No. Country where you are born is where, like me, I was born in Kenya, so I would put Kenya. If someone else is from Tanzania, they were born in Tanzania, they would put Tanzania. And I am saying this and I am insisting on this because I know some of us were born in a certain country and then maybe we moved out of that country when we were little. I need you to get this very clearly. So even if you moved out of your country, maybe your parents moved you out of there when you were 1 year old and you went to live in South Africa, or you went to live in Nigeria. If you were born in Kenya, that is where you will write. So regardless of where you are living right now, you have to write where your parents gave birth to you. In other words, to make it simpler. Okay? And like I said, when I read the list, you find that Nigeria is not there in the selection. It doesn't mean that Nigeria they did anything wrong, but what happens is that in the DV, they look at the data, like the numbers really matter, and that is why it is electronically, because the computer will count the numbers, and they see which country has the lowest people who have immigrated to the US, and that is how they select. So they look, maybe so Nigeria is not there. Many people have immigrated here, and that is why it's not here, because they want to take people who are the lowest population that has immigrated to the US. So please do not confuse that the country where you are born is where your parents gave birth to you. That is what I want you to enter on question number 5. Now, question number 6, country of eligibility for the DV program. Now, I read for you the countries that are eligible, and in Africa, Nigeria is not eligible. Your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. Your country of eligibility is not related to where you live or your nationality. I need you to get that. So the country of birth is where your parents gave birth to you. Now that is easy. I think you can understand that. And I need you to get that. So if you were born and your parents went to live in somewhere outside Kenya or outside Uganda, that is not your country of birth. So I hope that we are good on that one. Now, country of eligibility for the DV program. Now, these are the lists that they have given us. Now, this one, normally when you come to question number 6, it is going to give you a drop down. There is going to be like a little box there that will have all the countries that are eligible, and you will click on your country. For example, you'll click on Kenya, you'll click on Uganda, you'll click on Tanzania, you'll click on wherever you are. Now, let's say, for example, and that is why I need you to pay attention to the country where you are born and the country of eligibility. Now, let's say, for example, you were born in Uganda, right? And then your parents moved out of Uganda and went to live in Nigeria. And you list that you were born in Nigeria, but you were not born there. If you list a country that is not there, the selection doesn't go on. That form is like, it kind of hangs, because that country is not there. Actually, that country is not going to be there. Another thing, if you were born in Kenya and you live in Zambia, and you say, maybe you have lived there since you were little, and you say that that is your country of eligibility, then that is wrong. You have to be able to list the country that is eligible, and that is where you were born. Okay? So it doesn't have to do with where you are living right now, and it does not have to do with your nationality. You understand? I'm going to give you my example. Now I am an American citizen. That is my nationality. But was I born here? No, I wasn't born here. So if I was doing the application, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't fill out USA. I would fill out Kenya. So I hope we are understanding each other there on that, because you find that if you select a different country than the one that you are born, remember, you will have your birth certificate. Remember, your passport says where you are born. So how will you prove to the consular about that country that you put there? So I need you to pay attention to these questions, because those are the questions that I even get in my WhatsApp group. Those are the questions that I get when you guys come to ask here online. So I need you to pay attention to those 3 questions. The city where you are born, the country where you are born, and the country of eligibility. Very, very, very important questions there that you have to answer correctly. Now, let us look at the passport. I said that your passport has to be the current, the one that your country is using right now. So do not use the old one, because that old one, your country is not using, your government is not using that one. It's like using expired money. So don't use that one. You can always get a temporary passport and use it, and then you can apply for the international passport. But if you do that, please remember that you will have the documentation, you will have that copy of that temporary passport, you will have the papers that they give you when you go to do the application, because you will have all those documents to prove, to support why you had to change. You understand? So please, don't use the old one. Get a temporary. I think a temporary passport doesn't last long. It doesn't last like those 6 weeks. Like I'm hearing that people are saying that it is lasting like 6 weeks before you get your international passport. So you can use a temporary passport. It's okay. Now, but remember, the temporary passport is not the one that you will go with for the interview when you are doing, after you have won. No, you have to have an international passport and supporting documents. Why? You had to use this one and then this other one, whatever. And you see, it's a good reason, because if you had an old passport, you have that one, and then you got the temporary passport because the other one was whatever. And then you had applied for the other one. So if you have all those documents, it's not going to be a problem. But the problem is you use the temporary passport and then you want to go to the embassy with a new passport, and you leave this information behind. You do not leave any information behind. Now, I'm going to talk more about the passport here. So you must enter a valid international travel passport information unless you meet the requirements for an exemption. So who meets an exemption? An exemption may apply if you are stateless. A stateless person is a person, maybe your mother was traveling and they gave birth to you on a ship or an aeroplane. Where they were not in any country, they were in the water or they were in the air. Now that person, and they have never claimed citizenship to any country. Now that person is stateless, and there are very few. I know there was another case here in the news that a lady gave birth on the aeroplane, but so that is a stateless person. Unless you are stateless, you have to provide a passport. Another thing is that if you come from if you are a national of a communist-controlled country and unable to obtain a passport from the government of the communist-controlled countries. So let's say, for example, that there is war in your country, or something is going on in your country that your government has refused to give out passports. And the best example I can give you is what's going on right now in Afghanistan, is that most people, if you want to say that you're coming to the US, you might not get a passport. So with that, maybe you can use something like that. If there's a war in your country and maybe the government has been overthrown and there's a new government that has taken over and they're not giving out whatever passports, then that is the only way that you can give a reason. Okay. Another thing, the other one is if you have an individual waiver approved by the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Secretary of State. Now this one, unless you have lived here in the US and you have gotten this one is very rare. Basically, what I can say is that the reasons that they have given us, you guys, of not having a passport, some of them are you don't have them. So make sure that you have a valid current passport. And what I mean by current means that at the date of your application, that passport is not expired. So if it expired today is the 5th and tomorrow is when you're going to do the application, you cannot use that one. Do not use that one. So I need you to be very keen on that. So use a current passport when you're doing your application. Now, okay. So claiming an exemption for which you are ineligible. If you claim that you come from a communist-controlled country or you are stateless, or failing to enter a valid passport information, you have failed to enter valid passport information. And I need you to be very keen when you are entering your passport information, like very keen, because you need to enter those numbers correctly. This will make you ineligible for a DV. So read, double check, triple check, make sure that that number that you're entering there is correct. Now, so this will make you ineligible for a DV. So these are like simple things that we can do, and it's just, it's just paying attention. Okay. So so that's very important. Make sure that you're putting a current passport that is not expired and it is valid. All right. Now, I have talked about the entrant photograph, and I have said that the photograph must meet the requirements. Now, the photograph must meet the requirements, and there's a video that I did. I am going to attach it on this video when I am done. so that you can go watch that whatever for the photo. Now, when you're done taking your photo, the only thing that when you go to upload it on the website, the only thing is that it does is just to correct your measurements. That's the only thing that it does. So it is not going to highlight the photo. It is not going to change anything. So remember, please watch that video, because I don't want to talk about the photo right now. If you want me to talk about the photo, I will talk about another session. But I want us to pay attention to how we are going to fill out this form tomorrow. Now, so, and the thing that I am going to add about the photo is that everybody must have a photo. Be it the mom, the dad, the babies, everybody must have a photo, okay? So, how old should be your photo? It should be, let me read what they have written here. The recent photos taken within 6 months of yourself and your spouse and all your derivative children. So, it has to be current. Do not use a photo that you submitted last year with. I know there are some people who have tried several times, so please do not use that photo. And like I gave you an example of someone who was trying to use an old photo for last year. It was not accepted, because that machine, those computers, the technology that they use is very sophisticated. This is US. There is no shortcut. If they say you do it correctly. You have to do it correctly. Otherwise, if you do not, those are the simple mistakes that people do. Because you might submit a photo and it is taken, and then they decide that the computer rejects it. That will be whatever, just grounds for you not even to win the green card. And you want to increase your chances here. You want to do it thoroughly. It's like doing homework, you know, and doing a test. Like when you're doing a national test, like when we did KCPE and KCSE, remember what they used to tell us? Please circle on the dot. You have to circle inside the dot, and you cannot circle 2 dots, because when you circle 2 dots, what is going to happen is that nobody is going to know which answer you wanted to choose. So take this as an exam that you're doing, and make sure that you do it correctly. If it is that photo, do it, do a nice photo. Make sure that you're following their guidelines. And I have done videos about photos, so I need you to go and watch. Even if you don't understand it, go to a person who is qualified to do photographs, and they will interpret that information, because that is their profession. You know, there are those professional photographers. It's like, for example, if I am sick, I will go to a doctor. I am not going to go to a teacher. So go to that professional photographer. Tell them, this is what I want. These are the guidelines of the photo that they want. They are going to give you the right photo. And then, after you have done that, go to the photo checker. Do not ask people. Don't ask people, is this one correct? Is it? You might even ask me and I tell you it's correct, but maybe there is a mistake that the computer will detect. So please make sure that you're using the right, you're following the guidelines of the photo, because the photo, like that one, has to be the correct one. Now, so number 8 will be your photo, and then you will submit it. You will submit your digital photograph. So these are the requirements of the photo, and I talked about all this in a video there that I am going to attach. So all this is information about that. Now let me go on. And go back to our, oh my gosh, let me see what I did here. I'm still on the stream. So let me go to the next question. I have talked about the photo. Now this is another one, your mailing address. Now I am going to dwell on this so that we can get it correctly. Now the mailing address, here in the US, you find that every home has a mailing address. Every home has a mailing address. What do I mean by that? Like here in my house, I have my own address. I have my house number. Every house has a number, and that house number is the address. Okay, now that is US. Now in Kenya or in the other countries, you find that the houses do not have numbers, but there is a post office box, the post office box, whereby you go and receive letters. Now, maybe you have your own box, your own post, or your own box in the post office that you go and you open and you get your letters and you pay for. Because I know that one is paid for every year. You have to pay so that you can retain that post office box. Now, if you have that one, you do not write in care of. Just write your address, and you write the city. Maybe PO Box 56, Nairobi, and then the zip code. Of course, the zip code is like in Nairobi is 254, and then the country is Kenya. But Do not even stress about this. Don't stress about that question, because there is no way that they are going to contact you about with your mail, but they want it there, but they will not contact you. So you can write any PO box there. Okay. Now another thing, let me go to this first thing that says in care of. Mailing address in care of who? Now this one, and I think they write there optional, because in care of means that you do not have a PO box. You have no PO box. So you are going to use a PO box for your friend, or you're going to use a PO box for your church or for your school. Now in care of, you write the name of that other person who you are using the PO box for. But this one should not worry you, because they just it's a specification, because that's what we do here in the US. The mailing address is very important, very, very important. Even like and it's very private, and is very confidential. For example, I'm going to give you an example. When I applied for my passport, for my American passport, it came through the mail. It came through my mailing address, because here your house has a number and everybody has a little box. I'm going to do a video about my when I'm going to the post, so that I can show you. So that's where you go and get your stuff. But here, if you do not have your own PO box, just write in care of, and then you write the PO box and forget about it. That's not, they're not going to contact you through the mail or whatever. No, just forget about that. But there's another one. When you go to fill out your DS-260, they will ask about the mailing address for your host. Now that one is important. That one you will give, but we will talk about that when we win the green card, because I do not want to mix you guys up. I just want you to get these questions that you will be asked when you're filling out your green card. So 22 people are watching me. So let me acknowledge some more people here. Frida Motembei, It's Glimpse, Janet Moran, Lawi Mojake, Imelda Atieno, Eunice Muhaki, Margaret Hinga, Karen Kirote, thank you. I knew you would be there. Rosemary Nduta, thank you for joining me. Again, we are going through the form that we are going to fill tomorrow, the DV 2023 form. So I am walking you through the questions. Through the questions, and so that you can understand how to answer them. And these questions, the way they are here, is how you will be asked. If you go and open that form, these questions are the ones that you will find. So today it's like we are doing a pre-test. Tomorrow is the real test, but today we are doing a pre-test. Okay? And that is what I am doing here. Now, let's go on. I talked about the mailing address. Now, number 9, country where you live today. Now, the country where you live today means that maybe you were born in Kenya, but then you moved out and you went to live in the US. You moved out, you went to live in South Africa. You moved out, you went to live in Qatar. I know most people are going to Qatar. You moved out, you went to live in Canada. So where you are living right now, that is your country you live today. That is your country of residence. You live there. So your country, the country that you live today, especially if you left your country and you traveled to live outside, that is where you write. And that is why I said you can fill out the green card anywhere. Even people here in the US, they fill out the green card, and especially those people who do not have the right papers. They don't have the right documents, so they fill out the green card when they are here. Others will fill out when they are in Qatar, but they were not born in Qatar. Others will fill everywhere in the world. So you don't have to go home where you are bound to fill out the green card. What you need to do, if you are in Qatar today, just go to where there is a computer, type dvprogram.state.gov, and then you do your application there. But that will be your country of residence, or the country where you live today. They have made it simple and clear. Country where you live today. So state where you are living currently, because they want to know this person was born here, but they live in this other different country. So please state that, and please you have to be do not hide anything. Do not hide anything. Tell information as it is, because you might say that I'm not going to put this country, I'm going to put this other high-tech country so that I can be selected. No, put the way it is. If you are going to live in Qatar, put you live in Qatar. If you live in Sudan, put you live in Sudan. If you live in Ethiopia, put you live in Ethiopia. So what I'm saying is that you must enter where you are living at that time, because what I know is that if you live if you live in a country, if it is not your country for like more than over 6 months and you are legally there and maybe you are working or wherever, that country should be able to give you a good conduct. You know, you should be able to go to their office and get a certificate of good conduct because you have been living there. So if you moved out and you've been living maybe in South Africa for 5 years, they should be able to give you a police clearance form or a certificate of good conduct because you have been a resident of there. So they want to know where you have been living, so that in case that they ask you, because if you were born in Kenya and you never lived in Kenya, you went to live in another country, the Kenyans do not know about what you have been doing. No, but where you live, they know. So that is why they want to know where do you reside at that moment. So you have to write where you reside at that moment. Okay, so that's very, very important. So make sure that you enter that information where you are living. Now, the phone number, you can either enter your phone number or decide not to enter your phone number. That is optional. So you can put your phone number or decide not to put it. Nobody is going to penalize you or ask you about your phone number. The next question you're going to be entering is your email address. Now, let me read this one because this is important. An email address to which you have direct access and will continue having direct access through May of the next year. If you check the entered status check in May and learn you have been selected, you will later receive follow-up email communication from the Department of State with details if an immigrant visa interview becomes available. Let me reach there first. Now, your email address. Most of you will go, maybe you might decide, I'm going to a cyber to go and fill out my application. Maybe you have a computer at home, well and good. Maybe you want to do it on your phone, it's fine. Although I prefer using the computer desktop, it gives you more information. Now, the email address that you are going to use is the one that is your personal one. And if you do not have an email address, please open one right now before you fill out your DV lottery. Because that email address, when you fill it out, you will put it in your phone and you can be checking it. Okay? So do not, some people, I say this because I'm an African and I come from Kenya, and some things we just take some things for granted. So sometimes you're like, you're like, do you have an email address? No. Can you use your own email address? No, don't let anybody else use their email address. Use your own email address that you will have access to. Now, for example, you decided to use an email because maybe there are some people who will not be able to do the application for themselves if for reasons, despite being encouraged to do it by yourself, you still feel like you need help, and it's okay. And I said, if you need help, then you have to be there. Do not give out your documents to anybody to fill out for you and you are not there. No, you have to be there to answer questions correctly if someone is filling out for you, but they encourage you to do the application by yourself. Okay, now let's assume that someone is helping you to fill out their application and they ask you, what is your email address? And then you tell them, I don't have one. Can you use yours? Now, you know that person can take advantage of you because they have the email address, and the email address is the only way that you will know whether you have won your green card or not. So the email that you put there, make sure that it's yours. Do not put for your mother. Do not put for your father. Put your own email address. Enter your own email address there. So I need you to, because this is how you find that people are being charged money. And we like they said, if you watch the bulletin when it was being announced, they said that it is free. It is very free, unless you apply on someone's cyber and then they want you to pay for their internet. That one you will pay. But the application online is free. Now, if let's assume the cyber person or whoever person you decide will keep. You use their email address, they have access to your information, and then maybe they find out that you have won, and then they will tell you you have to pay me this amount of money before I give you, because you have already won. And that's why people get charged 100,000 Kenya shillings, whatever. You hear people telling, when people come here in the US, they talk, they say, can you imagine I had to pay 100,000 Kenya shilling to the guy who filled out the application for me on the cyber so that he could tell me that I had won. Now, that is why I am here to tell you that use your email address. Do not be tricked by that person who wants to get money from you, because there are some people who are waiting for a kill of money. This is where they are doing the harvesting. I know those people, and they are waiting there. They are saying the green card starts tomorrow. Some of them have started advertising. I will come I will do, I think I'll do a short video and tell you the right website to go to, because you have to go to the right website. Any website that is charging you, any website that does not have the word gov at the end, dvprogram.gov, that is not a valid website. That is a website that will charge you, and you don't want to be paying for this thing. This thing is free. It's very free. It's very free, and you should, anybody, even the person who is in the village and they do not have access to watching YouTube every time, and they want to fill out the green card, they are going to a cyber. You have to enlighten them and tell them, use your email address and do not pay for the application, because it is free. The only thing you pay is the cyber fees, because of course you will pay for the cyber. They won't let you use their internet for free. So please, 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 and I've dwelt on this because this is where those people catch you guys. They use their email address, or they let you share their email address, and then some of them go even to an extent of copying your email address. They copy it and they write it down. So what can you do there? If you think or you suspect that someone has copied your email address, then change the password. Change the password, so that, because an email address, a Google email address, or the other email address, a .com email address, a yahoo.com, it's very easy for you to change the password. If you feel like your email address has been compromised, you always have to change your password. And nowadays, it's very, 24 people are watching me. Thank you for watching Charities Bible USA. Now, the email addresses have become more secure, because the email address now, like mine, is secured to my phone. So if I am logging in, it gives me a signal. It asks me on my phone, because it has my phone number, if I am the one who is logging in. So if you feel like someone has tampered with the password, then change the password, so that you have the access to that information by yourself. You do not want to pay someone 100,000 Kenya shillings or 50,000 Kenya shillings because they have withheld the information about your winning. You do not want to do that, because I know before I left Kenya, after we had won a green card, I was introduced to a guy who was doing that job. And actually, we were having a problem, because we didn't know where to pay. After you have gotten your visa to travel to the US, there's some fee that you're supposed to pay. So we didn't know, we didn't have a guideline on where to pay that money, because that money was supposed to be paid online, and we didn't understand that stuff. So I remember we went to this guy in Nairobi. That guy was doing that job. He was filling out green cards for people, and then come the May of next year, he would call you and be like, you have to pay this amount of money, so that, because you have been selected, so that I give you the information. Why? Because they had your email address, and you let them retain your confirmation number. So that is why I dwelt on this question. Use your own personal email address. If you do not have a personal email address, the first thing you should do is to have your own email address, create your own email address, and then you can do your application. I hope we are together on that, because we wanna be honest. We don't want people to take advantage of us. We want to have information. I normally tell you guys, information is the key. If you know, because there are some people who are there waiting on tomorrow. There are some people who have been advertised. Kuja nikujazia, nitakujazia green card, we usijali, nipatie tu information. How many of you have given out their information to be filled out for the green card tomorrow? I know there are many. Now go get your stuff. Do not trust people, and do it, because you can do it for yourself. And that is why I'm walking you through these questions. So please make sure that you are using your email address. And I cannot stress that enough. Please, 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 please use your email address, because that is the only way that you will know that you have won. And it is still the only way that you will be contacted. The first notification letter after you have won the green card will come through your email. The second notification letter will come through your email. So that is that's important for you to use your email address. So so let me go to the other one. So the Department of State will never send you an email to tell you that you have been selected for the DV program. So your email is only after. It's important after, and it's important that for you to check. But you will not be notified that you have won the green card through your email. Okay, but I have told you the reason why you should use your own email, and make sure that you don't share your password with anybody. It should be yours, personal. Okay? All right. Now, number 12, the highest level of education as achieved as of today. Now, I am going to talk about education here, but when you are doing the application, they do not need you to prove your level of education, and they do not need you to prove work experience. They don't need to like bring all those documents for that. So here what they are asking you as of today, where have you reached? Where have you reached in your studies? That is what they are asking you right now. They are not asking for proof. And that is why they even have a slot for primary level. And I said that the green card doesn't have restrictions. Now the restrictions come in when you have won the green card, because you have to provide these education requirements. And that is why I said, the people were asking me, can I apply when I reach class 7? Can I apply when I reach class 6? Yes, you can, but you have to ask yourself a question. If I reached primary and I do not have minimum work experience that they want, why am I doing it, you know? But nobody is going to stop you from doing the application, but you have to prove. Now, what you need to do with this one is that when you go there, there will be some what do we call it? Some options for you to do. So highest level of education you have achieved as of today. Let's assume that you are in college and you haven't finished. Let's assume that you are in you went to high school and you did not finish. Let's assume that you are in you have already had your degree. They have all those options. So the first option will be primary school only. This is the person who went up to class 8. So that is where you enter if you did not go to high school. Okay? All right. Now, some high school no diploma. Some high school no diploma means you went to high school, yes, but you did not graduate. You did not finish the 4 years of high school and you did not get a certificate. You fill out there. Okay. Number 3, high school diploma. You went to high school, you graduated and you have the KCSE certificate, then fill out there. Vocational school. What is vocational school? You know, maybe for example you finished you didn't finish school or whatever, or maybe you finished even high school and you decided to go to vocational school. Maybe you decided to do interior design. I'm going to use interior design. 30 people are watching me. Thank you. So I'm going to use interior design because I know interior design, it's a job zone 4 and it meets the qualification of 7, because I don't want you to confuse you people. I want you to do the right thing. Now let's assume that you reached you didn't go to high school or whatever, but you have a job experience. You are an interior designer. That job meets the qualification that they want. Then you will say that you went to vocational college, you will tick there. So that afterwards, when you have won, then you will prove which vocational college did you go to, and then they will decide, does this one meet the requirements? Because it has to meet the requirements. And I talked about o.net. Please go there and enter the work that you do and see if it meets job zone 4 and SVP of 7. I am going to attach that video here so that when I am talking and you're still watching, then you can see that. So when you are applying, the only thing that you need to do is just to tell them, I reached primary, I reached some high school, I reached high school, vocational school. Now let's talk about some university courses. Maybe you just started, you just went to university and you are not done, but you are doing courses, because there are courses that you do before maybe you go to graduate. So you will say, I have done some university courses. If you have done university and you are done and you have graduated, then you will enter here. You have a university degree. Okay. If you have, if you went ahead beyond university and you did some graduate level courses, then you will write here some graduate level courses. If you have a master's degree, then you will enter here. If you have a doctoral level course is that already you have a master's degree, but you're still going on with studies, but you haven't gotten your doctorate, you are still working on it, then you will enter there. Then if you have a doctorate, then you will enter your doctorate there. Now they are saying highest level of education you have achieved as of today, right now. Tomorrow when you start the application or the day, what are you doing? What level are you on at that time? That is what they want you to enter. Now, if you have reached high school, if you have a high school diploma, you do not need to have work experience. Because I could see that people are getting confused and saying, I have gone to high school, I have gone to this technical college, I have done this and this and this and this. What is my job category? If you have gone to high school, don't worry about that. Your high school certificate is enough. It is going, that is enough. You don't need to show work experience. But if you do not have a high school certificate, you will show a work experience. And that one you will show after you have won. So just here, what they require to do is to tell them, where have you reached? What is your level of education? And that's it for now. And then later, when we come to talk about after we have won, I will explain that one more. So don't worry, just enter where you are in your education right now. That is what you're supposed to enter. So I hope that we are together on that one, because that question is throwing off everybody. And yeah, I just hope that you have gotten that one. Now, let us look at this one, number 13. Now, this is another one. Now, current marital status. Are you unmarried? You will enter that you are unmarried. Unmarried is you are single. You have never gotten married to anybody. That is, you are unmarried. And I need you to pay attention to this question, because this one is throwing everybody off. And why they put those questions the way they are is that US is different from Africa. Very different, because you find that here in the US, if you divorce, if you're not together with your husband, and maybe you have properties together, maybe you have even pets together, and you have kids together, even if you are like divorced or you are separated or whatever, that person that you are married to will still be, especially if you have kids and you have property, you had invested some stuff together, you will still have a connection with that person. Because here, when you get kids, they are for both people. It's not like you find that in Africa, you find that men, they have this habit of going just having kids everywhere, and they don't take care of them. US is not like that. You have to be accountable. So even if you have left your wife, you're not together with your wife, normally what happens is that they split. And maybe you are not in a good agreement. Even sometimes the government comes in and you are given days where you will be taking care of your kids, because both of you have to participate in raising those children, because the children cannot pay for your whatever is going on in your life. And that is how it is. When I am answering this question about marital status, I want you to think about US, that you are living here. Don't think about the African way, because if you think about the African way, you will get this question wrong. And I do not want you to get that question wrong. So I said, here in the US, even if you have gotten married and you have kids, and then you move on, you get married to another person, and then another person moves on and they get married to another person, and you have kids, you still meet, because those kids, they still know their dad and they need their dad. You understand what I mean? And here in the US, another thing, if you live with a man even if you live for 10 years and they have not you have not gone and had a marriage certificate, that is not your husband, that is your boyfriend. Are we together? Even if you have kids with that person and you have not gotten married, you do not have a legal marriage certificate, that is your boyfriend. They normally call each other boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. Now, you guys know that Africa is different, because we get married traditionally, and before we get that paper, that certificate, marriage certificate, we have to have consent from our parents. Some of us have to pay for dowry. So it's a little bit different, but that doesn't mean that you're not married. You are married. That is African way. But, so let's assume that you have lived with your wife for 10 years, and you have had children, and you're living there in Africa, and maybe you have done a traditional marriage. Now, you will select that you are married, because you are married. Because we said that we are not going to change our ways. And why I'm saying that is that when I got married to my husband, we did not do that wedding and get a marriage certificate, because of course we had to go pay dowry and do all that stuff. And it takes time for you to get all that money to take to your parents. Now, after we had won our green card, now when we filled out our green card, we indicated that we were married, because we were married. According to Kenyan laws, you're married, as long as you have lived with a woman for 6 months, that's your wife, So it's common law marriage. Now, so we entered, we were married, despite us not having the marriage certificate. So after we won our green card, it's when we went and legalized our marriage. We went and got a marriage certificate. So here on this married, you will enter that you are married. Okay? So if you are unmarried, it's if you are single. And if you had, let me talk about this one a little bit more. If you had your husband, right, for 10 years, and you had kids, and you did not have a legal divorce, or you are separated, now that is your husband. If you had a conflict, maybe you fought out all the night, you were fighting during the night or whatever, but when you come here in the US, you cannot fight. You cannot do, you know the way wives are beaten here in the US, if you beat your wife, you'll go to jail. That's a crime. It's called abuse. Now, if you had a conflict, and you know that women like to run away, and you're filling out the green card, you have to involve that, you have to put your husband there. You have to enter that husband over there. So I need you to get that very clear, because there was another person who was telling me, oh, we don't even talk to each other, but whatever. Oh, that is your husband. If you had stayed together for 10 years, that is your husband. Especially if you have his kids, then how will you prove, like, how will you say it? So if you're married, enter that you're married. If you're single, enter you're single. If it's boyfriend and girlfriend, then don't write that you're married. Do not write that you're married. Write that you're single, and everybody should do their own entry. Because if you enter that you are married and you are not married, and then you want to add that person in the DS-260, you will not get a visa despite winning, because winning is not a guarantee that you will get a visa. So be very keen on that issue. Because let's assume when I didn't have a marriage certificate and I decided to enter that I was single, and I had lived with my husband for all those years, and we had kids, and I got the green card, and then now because I have won it, now I am feeling guilty. I want to add my husband and my children. How would that have played out? Because you'd rather say we were married traditionally, and these are our customs. This is what happens. We had not gotten to the place where we could do the legal wedding, but after we won, because you guys needed that paper, then we went and legalized our marriage. That's better. Instead of leaving out your spouse there because you had a little conflict and you write that you're single, and then when you win, then you want to enter them there. No, you can't do that. So please pay attention to that question about marriage. So now, marriage and my spouse is not a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident. Now this is if you live with your husband in Kenya and they are not US citizen, or they do not have a green card, then you will enter that, because this question is that person who does not have a green card and who is not a permanent resident. Now this person lives in Kenya. Now let me give you an example of myself. For example, right now I'm a US citizen, and maybe my husband is not a US citizen. This is an example I'm giving. I'm just giving you a scenario so that you can understand better, because I know examples help. So I am a US citizen, and maybe, for example, my husband is not a US citizen. So if my husband decided to fill out a green card, and I am a US citizen, he doesn't have to include me there, because I am a US citizen, or maybe I have a green card. Okay? But if none of us have a US citizenship or green card, that is the first place that you will fill out. Married and my spouse is not a US citizen or US lawful permanent resident. I hope you understand that question, that answer, where you enter. Now, the other one will tell you, marriage and my spouse is a US citizen or a legal permanent resident. If either of you is either a US citizen or a legal permanent resident, then you will enter that part. Okay? You will enter that part, because when you go to the other subsequent questions, then it guides you according to how you have entered your questions. Now, let us go to the other one. Are you divorced? What do I mean by divorce? Divorce means that you have been legally divorced in the court, or in a government office. You have that paper showing that you have been divorced. Okay, so you will enter divorced. Okay, all right, and you know it guides you. So most probably when you enter divorced, it's not gonna ask you to write the information of that person, but you have to prove that you are divorced. So I hope you are getting there. Now, divorced, widowed is if your spouse died. Legally separated. Now legally separated is not when you run away from your husband and you say that you are legally separated. No, legally separated is done in the court. You have to show documents that you are legally separated. Maybe you are legally separated because you are deciding on how to divide assets or how to take care of kids, because these things play. And I told you that they write this because this is what happens in the US. And they want you to come. When you win the green card, you will come and live in the US. So it's like when you go to Rome, you do as Romans do. So that is why you have to answer these questions that way. Most people get confused with these questions because that is not our, when we are in Kenya, that is not our norm. It is not what we do. But when we come here in the US, it's a little bit different. And that's what I'm trying to explain here. All right. Now, let's go to the other one. So enter the name, the date of birth, the gender, the city, town of birth, and country of birth of your spouse, and a photograph of your spouse meeting the same technical specifications of your of the photo. Now, you put all that information about your spouse because it's gonna give you a drop down there on where to enter. You are the one who is guide. The way you are answering the questions, you are guiding that computer. It's gonna give you a drop down. Okay. Now, let's go to the other one. Let me read here. If your spouse is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, do not list him in your entry. A spouse who is already a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident will not require to be issued a visa. Therefore, if you select marriage to a U.S. citizen or a U.S. legal permanent resident on your entry, you will not be prompted to include further information for your spouse. Now, I said, maybe your husband is a citizen or your wife or a permanent resident. When you enter that you are married to a U.S. citizen or a U.S. permanent legal resident, it is not going to open up a page for you to fill out information for those people. Okay, so I said it is guiding you. Those questions, they go according to how you are answering them. So you have to be able to answer them correctly. Now let's go on. So let me go to frequently asked questions, and if okay, number 14. May my spouse and I each submit a separate entry? Can both of you submit a separate entry? Yes, each spouse may each submit one entry if each meets the eligibility requirements. If either spouse is selected, the other one is entitled to apply as a derivative dependent. Now, I want to read here as spouse. If you are legally married, you must list your spouse regardless of whether he or she lives with you or intends to migrate to the United States. Okay? All right. If you must list your spouse even if you are currently separated from him or her, unless you are legally separated. I said that. If you ran away and you're not talking to your husband or your wife at that time, and you're not legally separated, you must list that person even if you're not talking to each other. Now that is their rules. That's not my rules. And that is why I had to open this one so that you can understand better. So that, like, we are not lost, because in this question people get lost. Now, you must, okay, legal separation is an arrangement where the couple remains married but lives apart following a court order. If you and your spouse are legally separated, your spouse will not be able to immigrate with you through the diversity visa program. If you are separated legally and you win the green card and you have proof that you are separated legally, that person that you are separated legally to will not benefit from your green card. They are not going to benefit from your green card. And that is what they have said there. Now let us go on reading. Okay. All right. You will not be penalized if you choose to enter the name of the spouse of which you have legally separated. If you are legally separated and you think, let me just put his name there, nobody is going to ask you for doing that. But that person, because you are legally separated, they cannot be prompted to, they will not benefit from you winning the green card. So I hope you are clear on that. Now, no. If you are not legally separated by a court order, you must include your spouse even if you plan to be divorced before you apply for the diversity visa, or your spouse does not intend to immigrate. Okay? So if you're not legally separated, if you ran away, then you must list your spouse there. All right, let's go on. So, failure to list your eligible spouse or listing someone who is not your spouse will make you ineligible for a DV. If you are not married at the time of entry or plan getting married in the future, do not list your spouse in the entry form. Like I said, if you boyfriend and girlfriend, do not say that you are married, because they will say that you added that person in that information. So please, pay attention to this one, because this one is like throwing everybody off. I know it is not our culture, but this is what this is how US is. So you have to list that person that you're not talking You know, another, oh, sometimes I'm just, you know, like, I just like amuses me because there was this, like, she was so mad when I told her that. So she said, how am I supposed to, to write someone's name and add them there and ask them for a photo if I have not even talked to them for 10 years? So it's unfortunate, but it's what it is. So that's why I'm reading for you. Sometimes the rules come in, they don't favor us, but we have to follow them because we want to come to their country and we have to follow their rules. So please, 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 pay attention to this because this one is throwing everybody off. And I know it's unfortunate that even the African culture, now divorce and separation and whatever has become very high. People are getting married for the wrong reasons, and you find that you're getting married 5 years, you're apart, their kids, the kids are thrown off everywhere. The unfortunate thing is that when you're filling out this diversity visa, and you had been married to that guy or that woman for 5 years, you will list them there because you do not have legal documents showing that you were separated. So very, very important information that we are getting here on Charities Bible USA, your #1 channel. Thank you for being with me and staying with me as I read this information for you. Okay. So now this one is the good one. If you're divorced and your spouse is deceased, you do not have to list your former spouse. Okay. So if you have divorce papers and your spouse died, you don't need to list them there. And if you enter divorce, it is not going to prompt you to put information about your spouse. That is the good thing about this electronic form. It does what you it does what you're telling it. What you're answering, it's what is gonna open for you. Okay. So now that one, I hope you are clear on marriage. Now let us go to children. Let me go back here and click here and go back to children. We see the children that we are going to include. We are almost done. Stay with me. We are almost done, people. The number of children. Now list the name, date of birth, gender and city of birth, and country of birth of all living and married children under 21 years of age. Okay? Regardless of whether they are living with you or intend to come to accompany or join you. Okay, and married children under 21 years of age. Let's say, for example, your daughter or your son is 21 years old and they have a child. Now, do not write your that grandson. Do not list that grandson in that application. Do you understand? Because you can say, my daughter, she has a baby and we have been living together. She's unmarried and they are saying unmarried. Now, if she has a child, you cannot list that child on the DV application. That is what they are saying. Because the DV benefits you, your husband and your kids. That is if you have a family. Or if you do not have a family, if it is husband and wife, it will benefit all those two people. Only those two people. If you are not married, it will only benefit you by yourself. So please pay attention to that one, because if you add a grandchild, because your daughter maybe got the baby when she's still 18 years old or whatever years, then that will be grounds for you to be disqualified, because they want your children, they do not want your grandchildren. I know that is hard, but it's what it is, and I have to tell you as it is. Now, submit individual programs of each of your children using the same technical specifications as your own photograph. So remember, all of them must have a photo. Now, be sure to include all living and natural children, all living children legally adopted by you, and all living stepchildren. Let me talk about stepchildren. Let's assume that you are a man and you had gotten married. This is the African way that I am saying. And you decided to leave your wife with 5 kids, and then you went and married a young girl, and now you have 2 kids. Now, you have to list those kids. Now, the only thing that you cannot do is that in a DV lottery, you cannot list that you have 2 wives. It is illegal to have 2 wives in America. You can't have 2 wives. I know it's illegal in Kenya to have as many wives as you want, and I don't even know how that works, because you find that people are just getting married and they cannot even take care of those families. Now, in the US, you cannot list 2 spouses. You can only list 1. Now, if you had left your kids with another woman or another man, those are your stepchildren. You need to list them there. They have to be there. Those are your stepkids. So please do not leave them behind, because they will benefit. And you know, the green card, what I say is that for me, I don't even see the benefit so much for me, but I know that there's so much benefit for my children. I look at my son right now and I'm like, where could he be if we were still in Kenya? Maybe would he have gone to college? Would he even be having a job? That's what I ask myself. Look at those kids that have finished high school and they don't have anywhere to go. They are frustrated. Look at those kids who have finished university. They are frustrated. So green card, it benefits your generation. It's your generation. It will benefit your generation. So please, even those step kids, because I know, and this is a horrible African way of thinking, whereby someone, when they divorce, you even, it's like even the divorce, you divorced even the children. You don't even want to talk to those children and their yours. So those children must be included on the application. They must be included on the application, because you might win the green card. Maybe you win the green card with a younger wife, and maybe she has one child, and you want to only immigrate with that one, and then because someone has listened to Charity's Bible USA, and they know that you want the green card, and you left them with five kids. If they notify the embassy that you have kids that you left, you will not get it. You are not going to get it. So please list your stepchildren there, because even them, they will benefit from that. Okay? So I hope we are clear on that. Do not leave your stepchildren out. Now, okay, now, married children and children who are already aged 21 or older when you submit your entry are not eligible for the DV program. So that means that let's assume that your child is 22 years old. Those ones are not eligible. You don't have to list them there. They can do their own separate applications. And of course, if your son is 21, 18, 19, 20, 21, they can do, you can add them in your entry and have them do their own separate entry. It increases their chances of winning. It doesn't mean that they only have to be in one basket. Put them there if they are below 21 years old, and encourage them to do their own application, because on their own they can still win. Okay? All right. Now, we are almost done. Almost done here. This is the last question. Now, when you reach here on the children, that page, when you reach it tomorrow, that will be the first page. Now, it will tell you to submit. So let's assume that you had said about your wife, one wife, and you had entered, because you will enter the number of children, and I have specified the children. Now, if you entered one child, the next page is going to open a page for only one child. If you enter 4 children, the next page is going to open a page for 4 children. So pay attention to the number of children that you're writing, and make sure that you put the right number of children, because the next page is going to ask you, because you submit the first page, and then the next page opens for you to add information about your children, about your spouse. So please, pay attention to the children, because if you list that you have 2 kids and you have 4 children or 5 children, the other page, and you know that you are required to give the information, it is not going to give you a space to add the other kids, because every child has their own slot. And I told you, you prompt that computer. So be sure that your adopted children, your stepchildren, and your natural children, you know their number, and you enter their number, because the next page after you have submitted, when it opens up the number of children that you entered on the first page. So I want us to be clear about that. And that is why I said you have to be calm and collected. Actually, I created a PowerPoint for you guys for the requirements that you need. And one of the requirements is calm and collected. And you just do it when you are not stressed. Breathe. Take those deep breaths when you're doing the application, because I want you to get it right. You have to get this one right. Because those simple mistakes of the photo, those simple mistakes of leaving family members behind, those simple mistakes of listing your girlfriend as your wife, those are the ones that are going to make you to be disqualified. So please, all I can do here is to champion you and to guide you on where to go and try to explain this information for you. And why I'm saying this is because, like, some of us, we have to listen to someone talking about it so that we can get it. Like me, if someone doesn't tell me how it is, I know I like to read a lot, but unless I see an example or it's explained to me, sometimes it takes me a long time to get it. So I need you guys to get this information, watch this video, and just do it right. Do it right, because I have talked about all the 14. Are they 14? Let me see. All the 14 entries that you'll have to do when you're doing your DV application. Now, I hope that you have a passport, and I hope that you have a little photo. All I can do right now is just to wish you all the best. And I have given you all the guidelines. I have given you all the guidelines. And I decided on my own. Here, I have been working very hard, and I have been just giving you all this information. And now I have walked you through how to do it. Now, please, if there is a question, ask me. But I decided, if I have given you all this information, you can do it for yourself. You can do it for yourself so that you will be accountable for what you did. So I need you, when you go to do the application, it doesn't matter whether you do your application tomorrow, whether you do it the next day, make sure that you follow these guidelines. And I hope that you have understood what I have said. Now, I'm going to look for a few questions here. If some people have asked me questions, I'm going to answer them, and then we'll call it a day. Now, Charity dear, can I apply and still travel to the USA or any other country? If yes, if I win, can I continue with other processes while I am there, or I have to return back to my country? Now, if you went to the US and you live here in the US and you want the green card and you're here in the US, what they need you to do is to contact the immigration office. If you live here in the US, you know where the immigration office is, and then they will advise you on how to do a change of status. Okay? Now, when you apply for the green card, go on with your business. Do whatever you want to do. Nothing is stopping you. This green card is just a portion of life that we have done, and then we forget about it until March. So do not stop. Do not make your life stop because you did the green card application and you don't want to do anything else because you are waiting to win. No, I need you to go on with your life. Go on with the business that you do. Go on with your work until May is when we are going to look. And then when we look from there, if you have won your green card, then we will go on with the steps. So you can do whatever that you want to do, but if you are here in the US, it's a little bit different. You're supposed to contact the immigration office and they will help you or guide you on how to do a change of status. But if you win and you are in Qatar and you are born in Kenya, of course, you'll have to travel back to Kenya to go and process your visa. If you win and you live in South Africa, and you are born in Uganda, you'll have to go. I don't know if Uganda, by the way, they process the diversity visa right now. I don't know. I'm not sure because I know by the time we were winning, the people from Uganda had to travel to Kenya to process the diversity visa. It doesn't mean that they don't have an American embassy office. They do, but right now I don't know if they're doing that. But I know is that they will let you know. And that is why you have to retain your email, because they will let you know where you will go for your interview, because they know. They know and they guide you. And I told you, US, they give you all the details. There is no hidden information. They give you all the details. So even if you say that they did not tell me, they have the information. It's only that you did not read it or you did not pay attention. So you can continue with your life as normal when you have done your application. Okay. Eric Agwe, we love you, Charity. Thank you for that. Frida Namutambi, and if I took my photo with my hair tinted, do you think it will work? Yes, it will work as long as you don't cover your face. It's Glimpse. Hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining. I talked about the new generation passport, and I said that the old one that is not current in your government, don't use that one. Lawi Mojake, ndio na join Aki. Is it officially open now? If yes, post the link or website, please. Now, it's not open now. It's going to open tomorrow on the 6th. And I'll try to be here. I'll try all my best to be here when it's, I don't know. I'll try and see if I can be on because of the difference of time. But I will try my best and tell you guys that it's, even if I come here for 5 minutes, I will tell you that it's on and I'll tell you where to go. I will do that for you guys. Emailed out, 1 million subscribers. Here we come. We are almost 2,000. I told you, journey starts with one step, and I really appreciate you guys for subscribing to my channel. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please consider making a comment. Please consider even saying hi. Saying hi is very important because, maybe you might go to work and you find that the person that you are going to work with did not have a good night or they're having a rough morning, and you just say, hi, how are you doing? That brightens up their day. So just say hi, and please subscribe to my channel. Okay. Hi, Charity. Can I apply? And I have registered for March next year exam. Now, they want you to list your current education at that time. Okay, so you will say some secondary education. That is where you will list. Okay, you can apply, but you will list some secondary education because you still haven't done your exam. All right, let's see the other one. Hello, Babu. I'm tuned, ready with a pen and my paper to learn. Thank you, Paul Mwangi, for joining me. Joseph Aleto, here and ready to learn. Nairobi from Kenya. I like reading your comments, so let me. This is your moment. This is your moment to put you on the screen and to acknowledge you, and just to, it just feels good to acknowledge people. Lavi Mbojawake, I don't have a passport. Can I use my ID? No. You cannot use your ID. You must use your passport. Now, if you don't have a passport now, work on a passport. Or get a temporary passport and do the application. Or if you really like you're not ready, then there's still gonna be another one next year. So don't be discouraged. But you can't use your ID. You can't use your ID. Kagawa Live Charity. If I have my kids but separated with mom, can I put them like when we were engaged but not legal? Yeah, no, I say the kids, stepchildren, adopted children, everybody, all children go there. Okay, I don't know if you have I don't know if you are legally separated, but I read for you that if you are not legally separated, you must list their mom there. That's the bitter truth. You have to do that. I'm in Dubai, but from Uganda. So you will write your country of birth as Uganda, and country of your residence will be in Dubai. So that explains better. Stella Miranda is my good friend here. Thank you for joining me. This one is the godmother to my daughter. These are people who know me personally, and I really appreciate them just supporting me. Catherine Wanjiko tuned in. Charity, good job. Nor Abanol, good. Margaret Hinga, I have taken some photo for US visa recently. Can I use the same photo for DV lottery? Yes, if they say 6 months current, that is what you need to use. So it cannot be older than 6 months in simple terms. Karen Kirote, hi Charity, great job. I knew you'd be here, Karen. Thank you. Rosemary Nduta, good job. Grace Wairimo Nikondani, my friend Charity, thank you for joining. Kennedy Omondi, good job, Madam Charity, with me. I am only working on the current passport, correct passport photo, then I'll be ready. Yes, that is the spirit here that we have, because we have to apply for this DV 2023. Kindly remind me about the East African passport, because my brother is having the East African passport. Is it the current one? Because I said there was that old one. Remember when I think it was Uhuru Kenyatta, and then they opened up that you could go and travel, you could have a passport and you travel in East Africa, right? But then later they changed, and they said that every country had their own different one, but you still could travel with it, but your country had a different one each. Now that one that was the old one, the first one, that one, it is not, it might be current, it might show that it is not expired, but it is not good to use that one, because, and I gave you an example of money. Right now, if you have the old money for Kenya, that money is not going to help you. So it's the same with that passport. So use a current. They want current, and the date is not expired. So let's assume that you have a current passport, and you apply on the 6th and it expires on the 7th. That's okay. But if it expires on the 7th and you apply on the 8th, that's wrong, because that is not current. So I hope that I have talked about that. Stella Miranda, thumbs up. You see those thumbs up, that's what I talk about. When you watch my video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube to recommend my videos. So please always give a thumbs, even if you don't want to type anything, just give it a thumbs up. I appreciate those thumbs ups. Benon Talemo, hi, very great work you're doing for us. Can I get that document you are reading from guidelines from applications? Yes, you can. And I have posted it in my WhatsApp group, and I think I'll go back to the comments, but not right. When I go off air, it takes me time before I go back to answer your question, but I still answer them. So even if I take some time, I will still post, but I'll try all my best and put it there. But if you go to travel.state.gov, and there is a search engine there, a little box, you type a diversity visa, it's gonna open, and then you will find DV Program 2023. If you click on the instructions, that is what I am reading for, but I will be happy to share that document with you. God bless you plenty. Prama Fairs, thank you for that. Benon Talema. And also, what time will the DVs open tomorrow? Is African time. I will let you know about that here in a little bit. What is the Kenya postal code? And again, what was my son, And again, my son will be 21 on 7th of October. Is he eligible to be below 21? Now that one, I will do the application on the 6th. Right? Yeah, on the 6th. Try and do your application on the 6th, because they do not age out. But if you apply on the 7th, then they will have aged out. They are already 21. Because if you apply on the 6th and they turn on the 7th, then by the time you go to process your visa, they will still benefit, because they were not 21 at that time. I hope you understand that. So do yours on this. You have a time limit, because you have to do it on the first day. Otherwise, if you don't do it on the first day, then your son will turn 21, and they will not derive, they will not benefit. Now another thing, your child is turning 21, encourage them to do their own application. And even if you don't make it to have your kids who are 18, and maybe you haven't never thought about them having a passport, it is a high time that you had your kids who are adults to have their passports, so that they can even enter these things, and they can apply their own applications, and as individuals, and they can benefit. Because young people, when they come to the US, they have so much benefit. Oh my goodness. I can sit here a whole day and tell you the advantages of being in the US. Because I've lived in Kenya my adult life, and now I have lived here for 7 years. So that's something that's good. Okay. Abigail Banob, hello, God bless you. I like Eunice Omoneke, I like the way you explain. Good job. God bless you. Do you have our WhatsApp number, please? Now, the video that I did yesterday, I put the link there for my WhatsApp group. Please go there. Pixel Productions, great explaining. Be blessed. Thank you, Pixel Productions, for joining me here in this forum. Boosternet, thank you, Charity, for encouraging us. The application is around the corner. Yes. Chandama Wera Singe. I try to pronounce your names to the best. Is it possible when we apply on 6th October? Yes, tomorrow it will be 6. I don't know. I think right now it's almost close to maybe 8 or 7 in Kenya or in Africa now. 6th of October is when it opens, and as soon as it opens, I'm gonna stay. Looking at the time. As soon as it opens, I will be online, and I am gonna write. When you look at my Facebook page, I will put a notification there, and on my other Facebook page, and I will put it on the WhatsApp group. I will try. What I will do as soon as I'm off here, I will pin the WhatsApp link, and then you can join our WhatsApp group, and then that is where you can find my number. New Era, thank you for joining me. Thanks for being a blessing and sharing. You're amazing, Charity. I haven't seen you in a while, New Era. Nathan Otengi, hi Charity. Kindly, you can go back on photos and upload those photos that showed us that meets the requirements, and see whether it works on that official DV toolkit. I can do that. Can a temporary passport be used to apply for the green card? Can I use my own passport? Use a temporary passport. Do not use your old passport. I'm a bit late, but I am here. That is Evelyn Mwalo Guadencia Doreen. The old Kenyan passport is valid until that 1st of December 2021. Is it not okay to use it? Now, I was talking about the East African passport. Okay. Now, if the old Kenyan, I was talking about the East African passport, and I need you to get me very clearly. The East African passport changed. Now, the old Kenyan passport, if it is still valid, and it says that it is still valid, and you have something to show that it is still valid, because they will check, then you can use. But if it is not valid, it's like the money that I said. There was a time frame that they gave you guys to use the money, and then after that time frame ended, then you could not, that money became useless. So unless that specification is there, then you can. But if it is not there, I don't know about, because I was talking about the East African passport. Now this is the Kenyan passport. If that is the time frame that they have given you, that you still that you can use it, then use it, and then you have to show the supporting documentation that you still have to use it despite them having the new one, and then please make sure that you apply for the new one. I hope that we are clear on that. Now, Jacqueline Rarido, good job, Charity. Aquia Charity, that is my namesake there. Good job. Grace Rimo, thank you, my friend. Now, Charity, I separated with father of my kids many years. How do I put his name? Then I'm single. It's confusing. I read for you. Go back and watch that part I talked about marriage. I read all their rules and specifications. Hello, Charity. It will be midnight or till tomorrow daytime. Now, it's going to be 12 p.m. here. 12 p.m. here. I'll type the time for you guys. Thanks so much. I'm still following Peter Kimodo. Now, this one is my cousin. This is my cousin. He is my mother and his mother are sisters. So this one is like, this is my cousin. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's my family member there. Well, Rimo Mwangi, hi Charity. But the old passport is still valid. If it's still valid, that's fine. There's no problem. In case I'm applying from a country, then afterwards I move from a different country, can I feel the other country I'm voting to be my current residence? Yeah, that's your current residence. But remember, your country of birth will be Kenya. Sarah Merande. Eunice Mohaki, Charity, I'm listening. Now, kindly, I didn't understand about exam because I am from 3 dropout. Explain further, please. Now, if you are from 3 dropout, say some secondary education. There is that part that says some secondary education. Put that one, and when you win your green card, they will require you to have proof of work experience, 2 years work experience, a job zone 4, sorry, with an SVP, special vocational program 7. Now, I gave you an example of an interior designer. An interior designer meets the qualification. It's a job zone 4 and it has a an SVP of 7. So you have to, that is what you will have to prove to them after you have won your green card. So I hope you are clear on that. Peter Jogona, thanks for the info. Still looking forward for my B1, B2 interview next week. I wish you all the best, Peter Jogona. I hope that you get it. I hope that you get it. So my people, I have been here for 1 hour 35 minutes. I normally come on for 1 hour because I needed to explain to you that document, and I had questions in my WhatsApp group talking about how to do the how to go about the application tomorrow, and I felt like it was my duty to come here and explain to you so that you do not have difficulty. Now, when it goes on, when that whatever is up, I am going to come live and I will let you know that it's open. So if you are ready, and I know if you're ready, then you can do the application. And you know, you'd be at an advantage, especially if you have a computer in the house and you have internet, you would be able to do it. But even the next day is okay. But that person who has told me that their son is turning 7 on October 7, please make sure that you do your application on the 6th so that your son does not age out. And if you do your application on the 6th, when your son is still below 21, they will, by the time you do your, by the time you do your processing and get your visa, because you apply right now, you get, you know that you have one in May, and then they have this sequence of emails, notifications that they will send to you, and maybe you'll end up processing your visa the next year, like traveling the next year. That's when you will go for your interview. So at that time, even if your son will be 22, they will still benefit. There is a law that prevents kids from aging out, and I can read for you guys here because I did not read that. I can read here about kids because I am very for me, I think kids are very special to me. So, let me see if they have talked about that child. So you must list all your living children who are unmarried under 21 years of age at the time of your initial DV entry, whether they are your natural children, your stepchildren. Even if you are now divorced from that child's parent, I said even if you are divorced, you have to put those kids there. Now, these children are under 21 years of age at the time of your electronic entry, under 21 years age. That is why I said to that person who said that their son turns 21 in October 7, they have to list because they have to be under 21 years of age at the time of the electronic entry, even if they no longer reside with you or do not intend to immigrate them with the DV program. So I wanted to read something that says that that the children do not age out. But yeah, but I can't see that one, but I can read for that to you tomorrow about children not aging out. But children not aging out means that if you filled out when your children was under 21, even if they are 22 by the time you travel, it's fine. So you can do that. So I think I've acknowledged all of you, and if I have not acknowledged you, maybe my mouse passed you by mistake. I like acknowledge encouraging everybody who comes here, because I know that for me, even for you, even just to be here for your time, I really appreciate that. Sheila Hendrick, how are you? This is my friend. This is my friend here in the US, and we talk a lot. I really like her. She's a very good woman. SS Vanity, hi Charity, how are you? Please share the link for the photo checker. Lucy Wanjiru, I'm ready with everything, just waiting for tomorrow. This info came at a crucial moment. Thank you for that. So I really appreciate. So I'm gonna end this broadcast at 1 minute 40 seconds. I have so just a milliseconds. A great life. Thank you, Odera Omondi, and I can only wish you all the best in your application. Please pay attention to those questions. I'm just here to champion you, and I know by faith, by faith, you will come and live here in the US, and we will celebrate, because I know that anybody can win the green card. Anyway, the green card doesn't have corruption, so just win and have faith. And I know that you will celebrate at that time. So thank you for everything, Charity. You're the kindest. So thank you. I'm going to end with that. So until next time, as soon as it opens, I am going to let you know that and it's good that I am not working tonight. So because I work at night, so I will be home. And I will come live here as soon as it's open and call all of you and tell you it's open, and then I'll let you know. I'll just show you how the website looks like, so that you do not get conned. And there's a video that I did about the right website, because there are so many websites. So the website is dvprogram.gov. It must have a gov at the end, but I am going to come here tomorrow and let you know. And if you have any more questions, I will answer. So thank you very much. Stay tuned. Here, Charities Bubble USA, your #1 channel. And God bless you, and stay safe.